Hi, I'm your host, LaQuinta.
And I'm your host, Jessica. And welcome to our show.
Okay, let's do it one more time. We may get one done today because we play too much. Hi, I'm your host, LaQuinta.
And I'm your host, Jessica. And welcome to another episode of Grow Up. It's Womanhood.
This podcast is a conversation between two friends about all things womanhood, how to evolve and grow as a woman.
Hi, Jessica. Hey, LaQuinta.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. It's good to see you, girl. It's been a
Jessica,
minute.
everyone's been reaching out to me like, I'm for real. I'm so serious. You're like, who's watching us? They're like, hey, when's the podcast? When you guys gonna be recording? I was like, we just got some things going on in our personal lives, but we're gonna get back recorded. We're gonna try to stay consistent, but if we don't, like, we have not given up on the podcast. We just be having things going on. I had shingles.
Child.
From stress. We just got a lot going on in our lives. So we are not going to give up on the podcast. We just be having things going on. You know, we be lifing.
Life is lifing. Absolutely. I have a lot of things going on too. Running around with my kids in the summertime, handling issues. I've been traveling a little bit, and I've been dealing with some things too in regards to just I lost my dad less than a year ago, and I've really been mourning his death and seeing how it affects me. And just processing that. So sometimes I need a moment, and I'm grateful for our friendship that I can say, girl, I can't do it today.
And she thinks I'd be like, probably irritated, but I'm like, girl, it's like, I don't want this to be pressure. I want it to be us having fun. I really do, Jessica. So when you have to cancel, if I have to cancel, it's no hard feelings. It's just like, hey, we got things we got going on. So it's okay. It really is. I'm like, it's fine.
I always feel confident in that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's good to be able to reach out and say, hey, let's reschedule, because this really is something fun.
That's
and something fulfilling.
Yeah. If it's a job or chore or too much, then we may be overwhelmed with it, and I just want it to just flow. So I'm like, I'm on your time. Whenever you're ready, let's go. I don't want it to be pressure. So I'm like, yeah, we haven't given up. Just stay.
Absolutely. I look forward to this.
Yeah.
It's something really fun. I get to express a side of myself that, you know, gets put away because of the stresses of life, running around, feelings, whatever it could be, whoever cut me off in traffic, whatever is going on. So,
and we have a good time together. Like, I think we're kind of
we do.
We haven't given you guys all of our personality, but we really do have a good time together. As time grow, we will be more open and comfortable with sharing those deeper parts, which we try, but I don't think we're sitting in the seat comfortable yet.
Not yet, not all the way. And if anybody's like me, I have to warm up. So I've been told I come off a little bit prim and proper.
In the podcast?
In life.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure I come off that way in the podcast. But most people, once you get to know me, I can get silly. I have to watch it. And that's when the magic happens. So the more we do this and we get rolling, the better it will be. Because even how we're sitting right now, we never do this.
No, it'd be like,
we lean back or we get excited.
But I do have a little comfortable pillow behind me. Oh, guys, did you see our new setup? Like, it is fire. I love it.
Yeah.
I wish I could show you guys the whole room. Maybe after we finish recording, I'll kind of do a 360?
A 360.
Yeah, to show you guys, because it's so comfortable and cozy. We got like the chairs now instead of the table. So we got a new little setup.
It's really cute, and I think we'll really be able to get comfortable and give you those conversations that we were alluding to, that we have when we're not recording. So.
Yes. So what are we talking about today, Jessica? What's the topic?
You know what? Kind of piggybacking on our friendship and the conversation, we got to talking about friendships in general amongst women and how the dynamic changes as you shift into womanhood or as you shift into any next phase of your life.
Marriage, family passing away.
Yes.
Kids,
Yeah.
new jobs,
moving.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like adult friendships are difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're really difficult for women because we change so much. And then we always don't change at the same pace and at the same time as our friends. I know I have a pack where, there were some, being in my 40s now, there were some that we started, kids were in the early 20s, mid 20s. There were some who may have started in their 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are some that don't have any children at all. Then we have, some who have been married, divorced, married,
Mm-hmm.
some who've never married, some who are dating, some go out, some don't. And it's easy to say, gosh, I wish we were still friends, or why don't you call me anymore, or why don't you do that? It's so to take it personal. And a lot of times you have to sit back and really dissect where you are.
I wish Layla was here. I was just having a conversation with Layla about one of her friends.
Oh.
And she was like, Mom, we're just not friends anymore. And I was like, Layla, but that's okay. Like sometimes when you grow and you're 9 years old, talking about, they're not connecting like they used to. And I really want her, because I was hurt, and I want her to see as a baby girl that sometimes friendships don't last. And just for different reasons, But at 9, Layla's experiencing this, like one of her girlfriends that they used to be really close, and now they're not playing together, and they're like playing with the other little kids. So I was like, Layla, that's just a part of friendships, you kind of grow apart.
She's going into
the fourth grade.
The fourth grade.
Last night we just had this conversation.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting how, and I usually, the parameter used to be like fifth grade girls.
Mm-hmm.
It's the dynamic starts early
Mm-hmm.
for girls,
Mm-hmm.
where you start to have different cliques, different vibes. And the more you move into maybe that middle school era, you start learning about friendships. You start shifting, and it might be because of interest or style, popularity. My group of friends has changed from, I remember from elementary school to middle school, high school, college, and beyond. It's changed, and I've been pretty steady. So I was from a small city, and I was in the same school system, and I was in the same house. So even being that consistent with where I was, everything was changing. And it's amazing how it happens. And there's an element, though, it's kind of painful.
I saw a group of women on Facebook. It was like 5 women, and they did a photo shoot, and they all had like on the same colors. And she said they've been friends for like 30 years. I was like, wow, 5 friends. It was like 5 or 6 women,
Mm-hmm.
still a big crew, still together 30 years later. And I was like, that's pretty awesome that, just going through life interruptions, and they still stick there, and they did a photo shoot together. And it was really cool to see that. I was like, wow, I don't have a group of friends from childhood and we're all still together, which is okay, but I just thought that was really cool that they had like 6 girls still together for 30 years, and they did a photo shoot years later.
That is cool.
That is cool.
I think it's rare
Mm-hmm.
to have today. I have some friendships that I've had my whole life,
Mm-hmm.
or people I've known, but they're not, the closeness isn't the same, or how we communicate it, or the level of frequency isn't the same. Or I find different people in different spaces. Or I'll say, gosh, when did our relationship change? Or what were those pivotal moments that where the shift occurred? Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's them. It's particularly painful to me when I still crave closeness from a friendship and I don't get it. And I'm the type that will sit in it and try to dissect it.
What did I do, or what happened?
Yeah.
What was that defining moment where we fell apart, or
Right.
we separated? I don't say fell apart, but separated.
Right, yeah. And even even when it makes sense logically, where I can say, we're just not in the same space. And I don't want to be in that space. And she doesn't want to be in that space either. Neither one of us are bad, but it still feels like a loss.
So I have a childhood friend that I actually dream about a lot.
You dream about?
I dream about. She's always in my dream, but I don't have a desire to reach out to her. Is that my ego, or is that like what's showing up for me in reality? Where it's like I don't really care to reach out to her, but I dream about her all the time, subconsciously, all the time. I mean, she's always in my dream. Always in my dream. Always. And I.
Do you miss her?
I actually don't. I just don't see any value in the relationship right now. But we've been through a lot together. We grew up together. But yeah, I just thought that's kind of different. That is different. That I dream a lot about her. But I'm like, but I don't really care to reach out. Maybe I'm hurt still.
Okay, were you hurt, and that's why
I was
stopped?
hurt. I feel like I did reach out to her a couple times to see, like, you know, how she was doing, but I didn't feel like it was like a back, you know, both of us.
Was it reciprocal?
Yeah, no. So I stopped because I felt like I was the only one reaching out. So in that, and I guess it's like 10 years ago,
yeah.
I was kind of hurt because I did want to connect with her then, and I did stop reaching out. But like I said, today, right now, currently in this space, I don't care to have a friendship with her, but it's weird that I always dream about her.
Okay, so hearing that, to me, I think that you were hurt and you have a right to protect yourself and say, you know what, I'm really not interested in getting burned again.
Oh.
So, no, I don't have a desire to do that. I'm okay and I'm healed and I understand that. Two things can exist at once. And you can miss someone. It's so funny that you bring that up. I was talking about a friend of mine. It's really interesting. I said, in my opinion, I said, sometimes God does something. And the things that we have in common, the coincidences and how we came together, it's so much bigger than us. It's beyond coincidental. I said, when God gives you something, you don't just throw it away. And I said, you know, I've healed from that situation and I understand the differences, but it still bothers me. It still sits on my heart.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, so it's tough, but in terms of grow up, it's womanhood. A big part of womanhood is understanding the changing dynamics in friendships.
And being okay with it.
Yeah.
Being okay
and
with
being
it.
okay with it. It's really, really hard because you want to keep certain parts. And the biggest challenge I've noticed is when motherhood occurs. Motherhood versus your friends that are not mothers. That's the big shift. And it's not one is better than the other, but I think you just change so much. And you have to think about other things, and your time is different. I have a friend, we've been friends for 20 years. And a lot of times she'll say, okay, let's get together here or there. And I love it, and I'll take a weekend, and, you know, God bless my husband, he'll say, okay, I'll have the kids, I know you need this. Sometimes she wants to get together on holiday weekends.
Ooh.
And I can tell that she's not thinking, this is definitely like a family weekend. Right. And it's, you know, it's the only time that maybe she's not able to, you know, she's able to work or not work. So she has this extra time off and she can travel. And she's like, hey, I have this time. And I'm like, That's a holiday. That's like a major family holiday.
Right.
There's travel, there's cookouts, there's get-together. You know, I know that downtime, my children, my family likes to have me. So it's tough.
Mm-hmm. Especially like when you're trying to support the friend, because you see the pattern of holidays. Maybe she's lonely during holidays.
Yeah.
She's like, I need a friend. So you want to support that, but you're like, but my family over here needs me on holidays.
Right. As much as the understanding is. So where is the line of selfishness and who gets the short end of the stick?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, you know, we pick our family without question.
Mm-hmm.
But then there are those friends that you go, okay, I can only try so much.
Yes.
Or nobody's that busy.
Listen, I went to a one of the baby's daycare friends had a graduation last night, and I went to the graduation, and she was like, "Oh my God, thank you for coming, thank you for the support." And I thought about, like, it wasn't even a thought not to come, because like I would want someone to support my son, you know. So I really treat all my friends, and like I said, his provider is not my friend, but like I just treat people the way I want to be treated. So I tend to think that I'm a good friend because like even when I'm tired, like Layla goes to all the birthday parties, like, and I'm tired. I don't want to go to birthday parties, but
I know you're tired.
I am.
Your body's told you you're tired, but we'll get into that.
Yeah,
different subject.
But I have to learn to delegate too. A lot of times Patrick will go by himself, but I'm just that family lady who wants to be a part. So I'll go when really, like, I don't have to go, you know. So I have to learn to, and I've been doing that lately, because Layla said to me, "Mom, you haven't been going to family events." It's because I'm trying to rest now, you know. But I do try to support my friends. That's why I brought that up, because I try to support my friends and the things that they have. And I've even told a friend before, like, she will always invite me to her stuff, and I will go all the time. But then when I invite her to my stuff, she never show up. And I'm not friend. I'm gonna let you know, like, hey, like, I support you in all your events. Can you go to one a year or something? Like, come on now. Like, I don't think that it's fair, and I don't expect people to be like me. Sometimes you do get the sign, okay, that's just who that person is.
Yeah.
You gotta be okay with it. But I'm gonna let you know, hey, this has been brought to my attention that I support you more than you support me. And it's up to you to make the decision if you're going to support me after me letting you know that, hey, this is an issue with me. So I will voice that kind of stuff, especially because it's on my mind, you know, it's on my heart. I want you to support me. But I do try to support people and try to be a good friend. But it can be a challenge. It can. Like, you have so many activities going on, so many things on the to-do list. And
one thing you're really good at, and I always commend you, is speaking to what's your concern, what your concern is. And it's tough, because I kind of feel like, okay, sometimes I sit back and I have to let people be who they are. That's a difference about me that I've noticed. And sometimes it's really good, because people say, hey, I can be who I want to be, and you're not trying to change me. And sometimes it can be rough.
And some people are just not aware of their vulnerabilities. And you're like, if you bring it to their attention, you're like, I am like that. Maybe I can work on that. So it's always important that you say it or bring it to, especially, like, you wouldn't do that to your husband. If your husband wasn't showing up, you wouldn't just be like, so this is who you are. You're like, no, we got it.
Okay, so you bring up a really good point.
Yeah.
There are, and I'm exposing myself, a tiny group of people that I keep it a buck with.
Yeah, we just worked on that, remember?
We did. And I'll be honest with you. You are one of those people.
We had to grow there, though. We wasn't there in the beginning.
We weren't there in the beginning, but I would say you are one of those people more so than a lot of others, because of your personality and because you are receptive and you're a good learner. And you mentioned something, you said you wouldn't just let your husband do this, that. And I always say, I come at you, my husband, because I care. And when you love somebody and when you care, it's really, really hard to be quiet. But when you're not, you run the risk of offending people. So I have to say, okay, do I spill out and say, hey, I need to bring this to your attention, knowing the fallout could be the end of the relationship? Or do I say, well, this hurts, but I'm going to have to let you walk that path yourself and come to these conclusions on your own? It's really, really difficult.
I get it.
So I have
I would rather risk being true to myself, and because I don't want to regret. You know, I don't want to, and like, I like to sleep good at night. So I'm not laying in bed thinking like, oh, she's such a crappy person and, you know, I got to deal with her. So no, I'm just going to speak up. And it's up to you. Once I say it, it's all in your hands. And maybe this friendship isn't going to work. And I was not like this before, but I'm 36 now. I'm 36.
I'm sorry.
But like, it's so funny when I say truth. Patrick was like, when did truth become a possession? Like, my truth. That's what Patrick. He doesn't like my truth.
I might be Team Patrick.
Excuse me. But he doesn't like my truth. He does not like that word. But like, I just have to be honest and true to myself. True to myself. Is that better?
Sure. I'm like, why can't it just be the truth?
The truth, right?
No, I hear you know what? I don't lose sleep because of my truth.
That's so funny, my truth.
Yeah. I withhold as long as something, I don't want people to get hurt.
I feel that.
So my thing is, okay, I might see something and I see the path that it's on, but I know you're not able to receive this.
Discernment.
Yeah. And what's going to happen is you will lash out at me, and two things will happen. One, I'll get blocked out, and two, you're still going to go off the cliff.
Excuse me.
That's how I feel.
Well,
that's like, so if you're not going to hurt yourself too badly, then I'll say, okay, at least I can be there when you fall.
Well, I'm so glad I
will catch you.
Tell me.
I know.
I'm serious. Like,
I
don't want that. Like, I don't want people tiptoeing around me.
I know that about you specifically.
Because like that, like I have made so many life changes because of awareness and someone bringing to my attention how I am.
Yeah.
I was not aware of it.
You are open to receiving that. You are ready for that.
I'm a learner.
You're a learner, but you're not going to punish people.
I may get a little offended, like, really? But I have to process it. And I'll come back and say later, like, my bad, you know, like, I was kind of thrown off a little bit. But please do that for me. Like,
realize that everybody doesn't process that way.
You told me, like, no, LaQuinta, you are stressed. I was like, I'm not stressed. You're like, oh, yes, you are.
Yeah, you are.
And I had to, like, okay. I really said it. And I had another friend, too. He was like, the endless to-do list that you have.
All the time.
All the time. You're obsessed with mommy duties.
Yep.
You know, you have that's all stress. I'm like, is it stress? Because, like, if I see clothes on the couch, I got to get the clothes off the couch, you know. Just different things. And my friends, you and other friends brought to my attention, like, yes, LaQuinta, that's stress. I'm like, I'm not stressed. I told you that. I was like, no, I'm not stressed.
Okay, and there's an instance where I have to go, okay.
Yeah, you did.
You're not going to fall off the cliff. But when you're ready,
right?
When you trip, I'll be like, okay.
Yeah. So stuff like that. Like, I was not aware that I've just been operating in this abnormal space for so long that it was normal to me. My body ached. Like,
your body will let you know when you're not okay.
Yes. So I'm glad I have friends that like, no, LaQuinta, that's stress. I'm like, is that stress? So I start thinking, I'm like, damn.
There are people, and they would never own this. There are people who will withdraw when you say something that they don't want to hear.
I understand.
They will. They will lash out. I've had some folks say some really, really mean things to me. And I know that it's really not me, but when that defensive mechanism pops up, I have to decide, is it worth me feeling my feelings hurt?
I was just doing my girlfriend's hair. Actually, it's my sister's friend who became my friend.
I get it.
Yeah, because I'm doing her hair. So anytime my clients become my friends, I was just telling her that, and she listens to this podcast too. she's
hey friend.
But I was telling her that like now I'm very careful with giving people advice about themselves.
Yep.
Because I have had friends that like think that, I think something's wrong with them. So I tiptoe now, and I have certain friends that I'm like, should I say this? So I'm very careful with that, But I'm open.
But that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's necessary.
Yeah.
So being aware that I have to operate that way with some other people, I want people to be open with me, but I know I can't just...
But if you're doing something that's bothering me, I'm going to speak up. But that's the difference.
What do you mean by bothering you?
Like, okay, for the situation I told you about, the girlfriend, when I invite her to my event, she never shows up.
Okay.
That's something that bothers me. But like, what I mean by just something about you, like me, I was stressed. And I'm like, I'm not stressed, Jessica. And you were trying to let me know, like, yeah, you're stressed. That's what I'm talking about, where I'm careful with letting people know about themselves when it comes to like their well-being, their relationships and things like that. But it's when I am doing something to bother you get what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to explain that, where it's like when you're doing something to bother my spirit or interrupt something going on with me, I have to speak up. But if like you said, if this is the way you want to be, and I bring to your attention that, hey, this could be a problem, and you get offended or defensive and all of that, then I'm more likely not to do that later, because of you seem like a person who probably don't care or don't want to change or just not open to receiving it. So you see the difference I'm trying to explain?
I do see the difference.
Yeah, I hope you guys get it too.
Most folks need to change on their own schedule when they're ready and they process their way.
And you will lose a friend that way. That's how you could lose a friend, when you keep trying to push someone and they're not ready. They're like,
it's imposing. I mean, when you impose on someone and you push past their boundaries and they don't want it, it is. So my thing is, I'm not going to beat you over the head or impose if it's not going to damage you or your family.
That's right.
So in terms of you being stressed, I can see it. And you go, you dynamo, and I'm like, those kids are beautiful and brilliant, and they're going to be beautiful and brilliant, and they're doing a phenomenal job.
You always say that to them.
Access.
No, Jessica, but I gotta do more.
I'm like, if you did nothing else for the whole summer, they got enough to ride on through the next year. They're good to go. Is it bad to keep going? No, the kids are having a good time. They're okay. Are you doing something that's going to get you like hurt in the hospital? I don't see that. But your body's aching, and
our immune system too.
Right. I don't want you to hurt. I don't want you to ache. But you being you'll figure it out. And you'll say, okay, I'm hurting. I'm not okay. I need to look into myself. And you did. So I can count on that.
Yeah.
But if there was something that was going on and I'm like, Lord have mercy, she's going to be hurt, or Patrick or the kids, okay. Yeah. Then I'll fight and I'll say, I'll risk it.
That's right.
I'd rather you just be mad at me and here.
Please do.
Right.
That is very,
But it's hard. And the more you love someone, the harder it is not to jump in. I had an instance with a really, really good friend. And I was so passionate about this thing. And I'm like, hey, you really need to do this. You're not doing this. Oh my gosh. And we got so emotional. And then the men had to come in. I'm like, oh Lord, here we go. I'm like, when the men had to talk us down and woo our feelings, which things are healed in less than 24 hours.
Usually.
And I said, okay, I'm going to have to step back. And it's hard the more you love with friendship. So there's so many different dynamics. So in terms of womanhood, one, there's the changing dynamics of who you can rock with in what season and the changes that come. That's just a part of womanhood. And to learning what the boundaries are and how far we can go and how far we can't and what love really looks like. And sometimes love is letting people come to their own conclusions or even come to you when they're ready. I've had things that are hard, and then I said, okay, let me come to you, and then we can laugh about it or whatever. So, yeah, female friendships are hard. I don't see the men.
No. Patrick tells me all the time, what? That bothers you? Like, I don't care. I'm like, yeah. He says that all the time when I come to him with my little stuff.
Yeah, lady stuff.
That don't bother me. I don't care. He cannot talk to his friend for 10 years and be like, that's my dude. I'm like, that's not your dude anymore.
I felt like that before, too.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about? Or, time goes by. I have those friends where a decade could go by and then we jump back in and we're cool. Like, oh, it's good to see you today. And then another 10 years.
Yeah.
Men just don't hold on to
Patrick has friends that one just passed away. We actually have a funeral on Saturday.
Oh.
Literally knowing each other since 3 years old. And
I'm so sorry.
Just passed away. But like him and his friends, they'll do like shady stuff. And then they're like, oh, that's my boy. He good. I'm like, yeah, what?
they get in there and get out and squash it. Good.
It's our hormones, I guess.
I guess so. They are so funny together. Somebody sent a video of my husband golfing one time, and it was a slow motion and his belly was jiggling. And there's a big text string, and they're just roasting him. I'm like, if my friends did that, I would just cry. Like, I know I haven't, but he didn't care.
Yep,
they laughed so hard. They're tight. They're thick as thieves.
Yep.
They even reach out to me like, hey,
we're so sensitive.
Aren't we?
Grow up.
Really? Because it's not that deep. I said, I would be so like boo-hoo-hoo.
Right, that's not my friend. She don't talk to me like that. Like, a real friend does not talk to me like
right,
that.
Or I would act like I could take the joke and then go home and cry and feel hurt. But yeah, so
we got a lot of work to do.
We do. And hey, that's acknowledgement is the first step.
Right.
But yeah, don't give up on friendships, or just because your friendships look different or you've gone separate ways, I don't think it's failure. I'm losing friends. You just have to say, this is where I am now. This is where, she may be now.
Mm-hmm. I'm allowed to talk about my sister because she's my sister,
Did she give you permission?
Whatever. But
I asked, sis.
I was talking to one of her friends about their friendship. She was like, we don't talk as much anymore. I was like, girl, my sister be in the house. She's such an introvert. She don't got nothing going on.
Team introvert.
She ain't got nothing going on. She be in her space, like literally in her space. I'm like, you need some friends. She's like, girl, I don't need no friends.
I'm an introvert.
My sister does not need friends.
When the energy you get in your own space within yourself,
she be
I
in that
can't
house
tell
with
you.
her PJs on.
Woo,
I'm like, grandma, put some clothes on and go out to the world. Like, there's things to do out there. It's life out there. Girl.
You're an extrovert, though. You get energy from people.
Yeah, both, though. Sometimes, it's exhausting. Sometimes it can be exhausting. Yeah. But I do one-on-one. Like, I don't want big crowds, Yeah, but one-on-one, I do. Yeah. I need my people. I need my tribe.
I live for one-on-one connection. That is my pocket. Mm-hmm. So I might not be, I'm going to meet you out here and do all these different things all the time. But my moments occur when, let's have a phone call. Mm-hmm. And let's talk.
We got to get off the phone. I'm like, girl, we've been on the phone for an hour. We got to go.
I know, but that's when I'm in it. I'm like, okay, I'm really vested. I'm listening. I'm here. I love to show up like that when people need it. I love it. So... Yeah,
we're all different.
We are,
and we have to know the person. Know the person intention. Like you said, set the boundaries. Know the boundaries, And, you know, don't take it personally. We got things going on. We got stuff going on.
It is. And you know what? And there's always a little girl, and this is so funny too. God bless social media. One of my best friends, so funny, heaven forbid, we post a picture with another friend. We always joke and we're like, with her. Who's that friend?
Yes.
Even though we're hundreds of miles apart.
Oh, I came to you one time. So one time, Jessica, yeah, I told you. One time, Jessica, she posted a group of little girls, and like they went to go see Simone Biles.
Yeah.
And I was like, Jessica, we want to hang out with the little brown girls too.
Really?
Remember I told you that?
No.
Yeah, you posted your group. Do you remember going to see Simone Biles with a group of girls? I remember
I posted it and you told me.
I was like,
you were there.
Yeah, and I was like, I told you, I was like, hey, did you ever get together with like a little group of girls?
I didn't know that.
I told you. You
still didn't know. I knew you were like there. You said, oh, we were there with some friends because Layla does gymnastics. Right?
Well,
or did gymnastics?
Well, what happened? Layla and I were just going, and then
I didn't know that.
Look at you, feeling outside.
I'm so serious.
It's
right
okay
now.
though. It's not like I was like, hey, Jessica, I'm going by myself, and you didn't invite me. Like, well, I'm going with some girlfriends.
Girl, I got invited.
Right? So it's okay.
No, I didn't.
But it was one of those moments when you post you girl, like the grown women, and then the little girls. I was like, oh well.
News to me.
So listen.
News to me, of course.
I went to a workshop at Layla's school about navigating friendships, right?
Okay.
And they said not to post more than 3 for like on social media because little girls get jealous of group of girls hanging out. So
absolutely.
They said to be mindful when you're posting a group of little girls, not to post more than more than 2.
Yeah.
Because 3 kind of brings envy and jealousy and all that. I was like,
newsflash. Big girls feel that way too, or maybe just me. Maybe this grown woman.
Yeah. I mean, let's just be honest.
Yeah, but see, that's funny. Like, I would never guess that. And I would assume, I'm like, girl, you know, if I had tickets that I had created and reached out to have or something.
I was like, we want to hang out.
You would be included. I got invited to a thing and like slid in.
Yeah, it's all good. We
in 2 seconds. And if I would have known you were there, it would have been, come on, have a t-shirt. Yeah. So now I know.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
It's okay. But yeah, she talked about not posting groups, like, you know, for little girls, because little girls like, oh, they didn't invite me. They didn't invite me. So
But the same dynamic occurs like all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm talking, like I said,
do you guys comment? Let us know. Do you guys do that? Like if you see a group of girls and you didn't get invited, do you feel some type of way?
I think we do. I know women do. Or I'll get a call say, did you see such and such's picture? I get invited to this every year, but they didn't call me this year. And this is so funny. And then my friend goes, and I know my other girlfriend's going to call me because she feels guilty that she didn't invite me to this. So I'm going to find out. Hold on, I'll call her back and let you know what happened. We're in our 40s.
Yeah. One of my clients, she has I want to say Asian friend. She's a black lady. And the Asian friend, I hope they don't see this, she married a white man. So she was like, oh, she hangs with her Asian and white friends now. She doesn't invite the black girls to her events anymore. So my client feels some type of way about her marrying.
So that happens too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think that. It couldn't be that.
This is hilarious. We got issues.
No, this is so
Men
funny.
don't care about this stuff.
Men don't care. Here's a ball. Here's a sport. Here's whatever.
We got a lot of work to do, ladies.
We do, but it's so fun, and we come up with whatever is necessary. Like, yeah, and I'm talking about dynamics between. I have black friends. I have white friends. And I'm like, oh, okay, so I can't come to that because this is, they didn't want to invite the black friend. That's not true. I don't want to go to the country concert anyway. I don't know anybody. I don't know the songs. By the way, country is fabulous. I have been to one concert and the lady was singing her tail off. And I said, this crowd is boring. Get on your feet and clap. This woman has pipes. Why are you guys sitting down? But that's neither here nor there. It has nothing to do with it. I don't want to go. So why am I offended?
Yeah.
And I don't think that, a lot of times they don't want to come to my stuff either.
I have a girlfriend. She actually watches this podcast. She reaches out on Layla's birthday, the baby's birthday, holidays.
Awesome.
For the last 20 years.
Awesome.
Just an amazing
God bless
friend.
people like that.
Just an amazing friend. Yes.
Shout out to you, amazing friend. No, there are some people who are really, really good and really good gift givers.
Yeah.
I'm not a good gift giver. I struggle. I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember birthdays and events and holidays, and I'm like,
yeah.
What about you?
See, me and my mom talked about this. Like, I actually don't care about gifts. Like, I like just to be with my family. A clean house. Like, you can come and clean my house, or
the peace.
That's what I enjoy. But giving me stuff, I don't want stuff. I don't want purses. I don't want shoes. I don't want clothes. I don't want
purses.
that. No, don't give me that, because it's gonna get thrown up there. I wear a diaper bag. So
I like purses, and I'll be honest, most of my nicest ones, they sit up on the shelf, and I like to look at them.
And also, too, I want to bring this up because we're hitting up time.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll be in a space where I'll give someone a gift, but the next year I may not get them a gift. And it's not personal. It's just like I had more money during that time, or, I had more time to go out and get the gift. It's not that I gave you one gift one year and don't get, it's not that like the next year you're not important. It's just like during that time, during that season, I was available to go get the gift. So I'm bad about that, where I'll get you a gift one year, won't get you a gift another year.
That's okay, though.
Yeah,
and it has to be okay.
Yeah.
And as an adult, as a woman, you have to understand that. Both sides need to understand, like, hey, it is what it is. It's all love. So I guess we'll figure it out. What I've learned today is we've got some work to do, and sometimes womanhood isn't that different from girlhood.
No, I'm having these conversations with my baby girl. And it's that little girl coming up as an adult who just wants to be loved, adored, accepted.
Yeah. Don't we all?
Yes.
Oh.
The little girl.
Okay,
we're going to end it here, guys. Thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next episode.
Bye-bye. Thank you.